Hello and welcome to Bergen Stages Television, our entertainment magazine here at Bergen Community College. I'm Jim Bumgardner, your host, and today we have a very special show for you in store. We're going to turn our spotlight over to our music program and talk about a show coming up, a concert coming up, which is being directed by and created by Sony Tiwari. The show is called Broadway Today, and Sony, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm really pleased to be here. I actually put on my fancy shirt and I shaved my neck just for you.
You look great. Thanks. Thanks for doing that. Before we talk about the show, because it's so exciting, there's so much information about it, you're kind of one of our newest members to our faculty here, even though you've been here a few years already. And so I just want the audience kind of get to know you and where you came from and how did we get so lucky to have you here at Bergen.
So I should start at my birth date, right?
That's great.
All the way through.
Yeah. And that,
So, no, I moved up to the New York area about 5 years ago, and I went to NYU, did my master's degree there in music ed, and I had a mentor there that was really connected to a faculty member here at the college, and from that connection, I started adjuncting here at Bergen about 4 years ago, and then 2 years ago, I came on as a full-time faculty member, and here I am.
So moved up from where? Where did you move up to?
From Florida originally.
Oh, sweet. Good. And you were such a very talented and gifted professor, but also musician, singer, songwriter, all these things. How did you get into this music business? How did you?
Well, my parents were, always really, supportive and pushed us to be creative. My father he actually worked for NASA. He was an engineer for NASA. And so he had a little bit more of a technical background, but my mom, she grew up, singing and acting and doing all those things. And they both really supported us and pushed us. I think the rule really was that, to just do something and put your all into it. And so they took us around. We did a lot of, theater shows and, little acting gigs. And
so totally supportive of your music. So many parents want you to go into the doctor, lawyer field, but they were very supportive of your creative side.
Absolutely. My father's from India. And, the culture there really is, you're either an engineer or you go into medicine. So, for him to be completely accepting of, me saying, hey, I want to, maybe play some music and do something like that, he was always so supportive.
How great.
Yeah.
And you went to undergraduate school in Florida?
Yeah, Rollins College.
Oh, Rollins, great school, Orlando.
Yeah,
I love that. I love the campus. Everything's beautiful there.
Very
Close
nice.
enough to Disney, but far enough away from Disney.
Right, absolutely, yeah.
Right. And so Cocoa Beach, is that where the area you?
Actually, well, so in between Orlando. So people think Orlando is Mickey Mouse and Disney World, but Orlando is actually not Disney World. Disney's in Kissimmee.
Right, that's right.
Everyone, just a little lesson for today. But I actually was born in this, between the beach and between Orlando, there's this no man's land. And I was born there amongst, I don't want to make it sound like
the alligators.
Something like that, There was a little
Here
neighborhood.
Comes Sony. That's great. And so now you're here at the college, and I know that you, what courses do you teach? I know that.
So I've been doing different things. In the past, I've taught music theory and music appreciation, an intro to humanities course. Right now, I'm conducting the Bergen Voices. It's our choir, and I conduct the pop rock ensemble.
And these all they culminate in a performance as well.
At the end of the year.
Oh, great.
And I teach a class in music business called Concert Promotion and Production. And so our students, they learn about the live music industry, but they also are in charge of really, initiating the concerts that we put on here at the college.
So it's a true hands-on class that they get to learn the whole. And these students, their goals are to.
Right. So
to actually do this.
That's I think the really important part. It's we're here at a 2-year college, and a lot of these students are either looking to transfer. A lot of them are looking to just get right out into the industry.
Into the industry, yeah.
And in the performing arts, I know you're familiar with this, of course. You could read in a book or you can see a presentation on something, but you really just need to get your hands on it. You need to get a little dirty, and you need to. Now, when I say dirty, I don't. I mean in different ways.
We're talking about grease and tape and
exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's really what it's about. It's really about the students owning the project, and it's about me collaborating with them. I'm a really big believer in that.
It's hard work for you, but it's also inspirational work, and I'm sure as a mentor, they just love having you around, and I know they do, just kind of hearing them say it. And now, you also do these concerts in the year where you'll perform with them, they'll perform as well, and that's the one the pop rock.
Yeah, so at the end of the semester, the pop rock ensemble and the choir, they do a joint concert. But the last year and a half, we've gotten the students off campus doing concerts We do a concert every semester at Mexicali Live.
Right,
in Teaneck.
right.
We do another
And
one.
that's great experience just to tour, basically, take all your equipment, set it up. So there's some practical experience to being there.
It's good to have students from different classes all interacting and putting on this show, basically. It's good.
And around campus as well. I know that I've seen you guys set up and just put on a show. Yeah. So this is such an active program. If you've not caught any of our programs here at the college, please do, because it's nonstop program of music throughout the campus, and like Mexicali Live, a couple of you have one concert coming up this semester. You're hoping.
That's right. We're looking to do a Mexicali Live concert December 3rd. But we're also looking to do a concert at Dingbats. It's a hard rock venue in Clifton, New Jersey. We did a concert there over the summer.
Because this is where these students are going to be performing.
That's right.
They're the garage bands
Right.
of tomorrow that are getting this experience, this practical.
And we want to get them experience in different venues,
Which is great. Yeah. And then they come to the Saccone and understand what these concert proscenium stage venues are like as well.
Right.
So you've done several concerts here on campus, and you like to celebrate artists along the way. What are some of the concerts you've
So a couple years ago, we did a concert called Duet. It was actually an Ars Nova concert. Ars Nova is a series that the college puts on every fall. And so the idea with Duet was, and as a creative person, I'm sure you understand this, sometimes creativity is bred from constraint. So, you put some certain limitations on things, and that really inspires you to, work within those parameters and find a solution. Right. So the idea was that you can only have 2 people on stage at a time. And that each performer performed 2 duets, but with different partners. So you can see them in different contexts, basically. And so it was exploring the power between the duets. And the duet, there's a certain dualism there that is reflected, I think, in our own lives on a daily basis.
So it can be an instrumentalist and the singer, or
Exactly.
I think wasn't drummers and dancers, or all these.
Yeah, it was interdisciplinary, right? And so that was a really neat concert, and it was really neat also we got a lot of faculty, we got alumni, we got some professional artists.
All kind of collaborating
coming
together
to
for
do
this
this
event.
thing. And so we also did a really fun concert about a year and a half ago. It was called Tupac Back. And so the idea there, the students in my concert promo class, we were brainstorming ideas, and someone had the idea to celebrate artists that were dead, basically, or maybe died before their time.
Right.
Or are they dead? Wink, wink. So, so we did Jimi Hendrix, we did Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson,
Great
and
concert, too.
Tupac
Great
Shakur.
concert.
So it was really diverse, and it was a lot of fun. The students dressed up. It was kind of like partially costume
Retro
kind of
look.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
And you've done Michael Jackson. You did
Yeah, we did. Well, before I produced that concert, but we had the previous director of the pop rock ensemble, Will Fulton.
Right.
He's at LaGuardia Community College now. He directed a tribute to Michael Jackson. It was fantastic.
So we had just a great array of celebrating talent out there with the talent that's here.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we're heading with this concert that we have coming up in just a few weeks. And I know that you're busy putting the artists together for this particular concert. Is that a collaborative effort as well with the concert coming up Broadway Today?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I try to go in. I basically make an offer that they can't refuse. I'm half Italian, so I'm allowed to make monkey jokes. No, but it's very interesting. I've been working very closely with Lynn Needle. She's a director at Art of Motion in Richwood. Of course, we have lots of conversations along the way. Jim likes to be modest about this, but he's also producing the show and is a big. He's really the cog that keeps this thing moving. But
Thank you. But it is such a great collaborative effort. Yourself being the creative person, and then we also get the talent of Lynn Needle coming in as a choreographer, the musicians, and you put it together, working with our tech team to put a show together there. Yeah. So this is just so exciting what's coming up. I'm just going to kind of tease that we're going to talk more about the concert after we take a break. But in the meantime, I know that you're ready, you're gearing up. We just have a few weeks for Broadway Today, and we're going to take a short break coming up now. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about this concert in depth so that you kind of know what you're in for, and we hope that you will come see the concert. And we're also going to have you a little music piece. Sony has agreed, Jesse are going to do a song for you. So we'll come back right after the break and give you this little song treat. So come right back.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Let's switch to Energy Star light bulbs and stop burning through cash. Saving energy saves you money.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks. Visit us at stoptextsstopwrecks.org.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
Welcome back to Bergen Stages Television. We've been speaking with Sony Tiwari about doing a concert this coming October called Broadway Today, and we have a very special treat in store for you right now. We have Sony and Jesse doing a performance from Passing Strange. Listen up.
Every day I build a mask up to the task. Another song you see. La da 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 da. I live behind the rhyme and verse. I lift my voice till I lift the curse. It's all rehearsed, you see. La da 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 da. This music always rescues me. There's a melody for every malady, prescription song you see. And should the mask begin to fall, my chorus goes up like a 12-foot wall, so you can't see me. And I'm blessed to entertain. The crowd laughs and swoons. There's loud guitars and champagne, and I sleep well past noon. But I've got a lot to explain to myself, not to you. Like who lost track of their pain when working their wound. And so I finally found a hole between the clicks of a metronome and a song you see. La da 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 da. And so I went out on a limb. Oh, but the tree disappeared and the sky grew dim, and then the song changed key. And then you told me my pain entertained. I heard the applause, thanking God you're sane. But what about me? And I'm cursed to entertain. The crowd laughs too soon, and all I have is my pain, sharp and way out of tune. Oh, but you know I feel a bit ashamed, since I'm still here marooned. And you lose track of her pain when you're working your wound. And you lose track of her pain when you're working your wound. And you lose track of her love, and you lose track of her pain. I just hopped back on that train and keep working. I go working like she's working, like he's working. I go working, and that's how the song goes. I said that's how the song goes. I said that's how the song goes. But the problem is it never stops.
What an amazing song. Sony and Jesse, thank you so much. That was such a great song from Passing Strange. Can you tell anybody about that show or a little teaser of what we're going to be seeing in the show?
Right. So I actually got to see the show in 2008. It's when it was on Broadway. It's written by a gentleman named Stu and his collaborating partner Heidi Rodewald, excuse me. And it was tried out in California originally for a year or two, and then it came over in 2008. And since then, I've just been a really, really big fan of the show.
And it's an autobiographical show, right?
Yeah.
It's Stu's kind of life
it's about his life as a musician and exactly having experiences in Europe and kind of realizations about family and about love and about music. So it's really a celebration of all these really interesting things.
And we'll throw a little plug in there because we actually have Stu and Heidi come to campus the end of October. I know that Spike Lee filmed Passing Strange, the stage version of it, and we're going to be showing that here. We're going to put on the screen a poster of some upcoming events with Stu and Heidi on campus. They're going to be coming to campus, and a week before they come to campus, we're actually going to be showing Passing Strange, which is free, and I think the room is W220 in our West Hall here on campus. You're invited to come see Passing Strange. And then a week after that, they will be coming to campus and will be talking about their life and collaboration.
Yeah, we have a couple of events planned with them. One, they're going to give a little bit more of an overview of their experiences as musicians, and their experience is very diverse. I mean, they were in the rock scene in LA, and so they have that experience, but also as music theater performers, composers, arrangers, and then later they're going to do a kind of master class. So some of our students that are performers and songwriters are going to demo their songs, and they'll elicit feedback.
Awesome.
So we're
That's
really
great.
looking forward to it.
And all of these events are free, so anybody could come and watch them. There are distinguished artists. We have a distinguished artist series here at the campus where every semester we bring in an artist, and our treat this year is to get two for the price of one. We get Stu and Heidi coming to the campus. So all these events are free. Again, the poster's up that will tell you all the information and which room each of these events will be happening in. So we hope you will come and catch that. That will be actually after our Ars Nova concert, Broadway Today. So let's get to talking about the concert, because that's such a wonderful tease, the song that you gave, because that will be in the show. You're actually...
It will be, and it's funny because I was talking with our colleague Andy Cricken, he's in the Performing Arts Department, and I was talking to him in the summer, and I said, hey, I have this idea for this Ars Nova concert where maybe we celebrate music theater, contemporary music theater, and that same conversation, he said, oh, well, I was talking with Stu about him and Heidi coming to be distinguished artists this semester. So it was really like a chance thing, or I don't want to say coincidence because I don't believe in coincidences, but we're certainly pleased, and I think the timing is just really great.
Oh, and I think it is, and that's when you decided, well, let me do the show that celebrates Broadway.
That was
the
a
21st
confirmation.
century.
Yeah, I think the idea is we see all the time local theaters doing theater review type shows. And people are really familiar with the classics. I'm a big fan of music theater. My sister is a director, and Sondheims and Andrew Lloyd Webber's.
We've heard
all
those.
The classic tunes.
Yeah.
Right, and so I just thought it'd be really interesting to explore what's been going on since the year 2000. And again, hearkening back to that when we were talking about the Duet concert, how constraint breeds creativity. And so what if we only could pick shows between this 15-year span? Where does that bring us?
Which is a great variety.
Apparently,
which
it's a wealth, right? It's a wealth. And I think it's been interesting to see, not just in music theater, but in our music culture in general, kind of an intermixing of styles, genres being kind of, the lines are being blurred between genres. And so where music theater might have had a particular style, you think of what a music theater song, a Broadway song sounds like, maybe 30 years ago, 20 years ago, had a certain element to it, musical qualities. Now, what we're seeing on Broadway is we're seeing all these styles of music that we wouldn't normally associate.
It's truly amazing. It's like in the 60s you had the Burt Bacharachs and people who contributed to pop music as well, but then there was just this chasm during the next few decades that those two worlds didn't come together. And now it is. You get people like Sting or Cyndi Lauper or Bono writing for Broadway shows, Duncan Sheik, that are doing it. So it's really, suddenly these pop musicians are now a part of...
And I think the jukebox musical was one area, we're just going to take Billy Joel songs and we're going to make a musical out of it. And then I think what we started seeing in the last 10, 15 years is more of people that had a real background in theater, just using their other background, their other influences, rock, punk, even hip hop, Latin music.
Which gets into, if you don't mind listing some of the things that some of the shows that you're going to pay tribute to.
Right. So of course there's some icons like Wicked, and Wicked is a show. Stephen Schwartz. It's a beautifully lushly orchestrated musical, a little bit more in the epic style of maybe a
more traditional Broadway,
more traditional,
but still of the 21st century.
Right. But we thought it was important to include that. But we have shows like Bombay Dreams, which was composed by A.R. Rahman, who's basically he's the most prolific composer in India of filmy music, Bollywood filmy music, and we have shows like In the Heights.
Before you get to that, the Bombay Dreams, don't you have special dancers coming in for this?
Yeah, we have some dancers coming in, and it's going to be really interesting to see, this Indian style of dance kind of being celebrated in a really authentic way.
But that was on Broadway. That was part of what Broadway was. Sorry, I interrupted.
Absolutely,
so
it was
Bombay
great.
Dreams.
Bombay Dreams. We have In the Heights. So that's a musical that's really focused on hip hop and on Afrocentric Latin music. So it'll be fun to have that. We have Once, which is really folksy.
Totally.
American Idiot. We have punk music. So Passing Strange again. So Passing Strange is interesting because there's rock, kind of rock pop, but a lot of Passing Strange is very avant-garde too. And it really drew me in when I got to see the show. And so I'm trying to think, what else do we have?
I know that you have Spring Awakening, which is actually being
right.
revived on Broadway right now.
That's right. There's a really good production of Spring Awakening, and they added sign language to the show. I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, Deaf West Theater is
right.
being a part of it. So, but that deals with teenage angst and all those kind of things, but also has that pop score written by Duncan Sheik.
Right. And then you have some of these, you have 80s hair band music in a show like Rock of Ages.
Right.
And a lot of people are familiar with the movie that came out a few years ago. That show is just a total roller coaster of a show. So through all of these different styles of music, I think the idea is that if someone came and they didn't know it was a Broadway theater concert, they wouldn't realize it was a Broadway theater concert because they would say, well, all this different kind of music, where is this coming from?
Yeah. Which is great, just showing the versatility and the diversity of Broadway today, which we did not really have. We had the difference between the hippies and the mainstream, but we really didn't have what we have today with this from Bombay Dreams to In the Heights, this variety of music. And now we've got Hamilton showing. I know we don't have anything released from Hamilton yet, but now we've got this hip hop musical. So it's
interesting. It's great to see Broadway adapt and change. It's an ongoing conversation about is the theater going audience dying, basically, right? And how do we get younger people back to the theaters? But there's really been an explosion of great American musicals over the last 10 to 15 years. And it's a reflection of the diversifying tastes of music listeners, right? So, I mean, certainly with iPods and with streaming music, and now, everyone is on Spotify and YouTube, people have access to all these different styles. And so what you would find in someone's personal music collection is probably more diverse now just because people have that convenience. So I think it's being reflected in Broadway.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking about the concert coming up called Ars Nova concert called Broadway Today, and it's a tribute to Broadway of the 21st century. And the concert's going to be on October 15th in our Saccone Theater, and we're just kind of talking about all the different components that happen in putting a show like this together. And so we've been talking about the shows that you're representing, but who are the talent? Who's going to be performing these wonderful pieces?
Right. So there was an idea. We're going to do this Broadway show, right? And so that sounds great. But then the idea really is what we're trying to do with Ars Nova is we're trying to put on a high quality piece of entertainment for the college and also for the community at large. At the same time, being that this is a college and we are really committed to making an educational experience for our students as well. For students that may attend the concert to see almost something aspirational for them to kind of work towards, but also for some of our more developed students to be in this professional environment. And so to bring some of our previous alumni that are out there doing things, and along with professional artists. So some of the collaborators, we have some faculty members here at the college, John LaBarbera, we have some new faculty members, Grace Hahn, who I got to meet a few months ago, amazingly talented cellist. She did her master's in performance at Yale and her DMA, her doctorate at Michigan, and she's going to play in the Spring Awakening song with two of our students.
Cool.
So we have these type of interactions.
Cool.
We also have
Great.
Lynn Needle, who I mentioned a few minutes ago from Art of Motion. She has a few other, a few professional artists from Art of Motion in her company that are coming to be a part of this event as well.
So they will dance to some of the pieces being played or sung at the same time?
Yeah, they've been choreographing pieces. Jeanette DeShuck, she's a member of the company. She's also a faculty member here at the college. And she has a few others, Romaine Romanson, Gabriel Alvarez. So we're really looking forward to having them and have these dancers. And then we also have Sally Ann Toomis, who has an extensive music theater career. She's performed on Broadway and in several shows. And she's actually going to perform a few of the songs at the concert.
How are we so lucky to get her, to get a Broadway performer?
She is also, she's a member, she works at AOM, she teaches at AOM as well. And she does a lot of other projects. And I met her this past year, And when I was thinking to do the show, I reached out to her, and she was very gracious and really supportive of what we were trying to do. I think she saw the vision. For example, she's doing a few songs. One song she's doing is from the show Bridges in Madison County.
Oh, sure, short-lived on Broadway, but a beautiful show.
Right, and I think she saw the opportunity to get to expose some of this music that audiences do not have access to. To have an opportunity to do that on stage, I think was appealing. And I'm actually doing a duet with her from that show.
From Bridges in Madison.
So I have to la 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 la. I have to get my chops up.
Well, we just heard you singing, so we know you got the chops for
I got
what
my
you're
work
going to be
do,
doing.
Yeah.
Again, the show is called Broadway Today, celebrating the Broadway musical of the 21st century and also the diversity of the performers in the show, and as well as the diversity of the talent that created these shows. So the show is coming up on October 15th. So we're at the point of getting the final pieces together and doing this puppy.
Yeah, this is the time. We're in rehearsals. I've been meeting with musicians, the dancers. Trying to meet later this week, and this is where the rubber meets the road, I guess, as they say.
Absolutely, yeah. And also, just kind of this is a cheap date. This is our concert prices are $5 for students in the Bergen community. Here is $10 for seniors as well, and $15 general admission. But not only is it to come out and celebrate a wonderful show, but it's celebrating a wonderful scholarship. Can you talk just briefly about this scholarship?
Absolutely. So the scholarship is called the Paul David Walter Scholarship. Paul David Walter is the late husband of the president of Bergen Community College, Dr. K.B. Walter, or B.K. Walter, excuse me. And the scholarship was set up 2 years ago in honor of David.
And he was a drummer.
Who was a drummer, a professional musician. Played overseas, toured with a lot of bands. Was really an accomplished musician, and was really passionate about it. And so President Walter, she donated, after he passed, she donated some equipment to the music department and also set up this scholarship. And beyond this scholarship, it's a personal interest of mine to try to raise awareness for scholarships. We have a new director of the foundation here at the college, Lindsay Moyer, and she's been doing some really great work to try to get the word out about the scholarship opportunities. I don't know if you know, the scholarship deadline actually is coming up really quick for the students.
It does.
And sometimes it happens so quick, and we don't realize it happens. And the foundation has lots of resources for the students. And what we find is that students often are not aware of the scholarship opportunities, or they feel that they are, in some way they're not accomplished enough to merit a scholarship. They're not worthy of a scholarship.
Right. So it's up to us, to the faculty and staff and here at the college, to say, and
know.
here's a wonderful opportunity, because this scholarship is for a music student.
Right. It's for a music student, and we have students here all the time at the college that have started their coursework. Really, really great, amazing kids, but you know how great the students are here at the college.
Absolutely, and very deserved of scholarship. They just need to apply for the thing.
Right. So outside of, we're of course raising funds. All of the proceeds of the concert will go to the Paul David Walter Scholarship Fund, and also we're just trying to raise awareness for the scholarship opportunities as a whole. So not just for music students, but if you study math or...
But for all the scholarships.
All the
here on
scholarships.
campus. I hate to wrap this up. This is such a great time. So on the screen right now is the poster for our concert, Broadway Today. You can get tickets at tickets.bergen.edu, or call our box office, or visit us in our office in A130 to pick up tickets. Sony, what a great show. We are so excited about seeing Broadway Today, and thanks for being today's guest. Awesome singing, and awesome just having you here today.
It's always a pleasure. Thanks for having us, and we're really excited to put this on for the community.
Great.
Yeah.
So come back, see us on Bergen stages, but also come and see our concerts here at the college. The one coming up on October 15th is Broadway Today. Thank you.